you had to go through all the different levels before you became a pro.
Correct.
And it made you appreciate your career. You
Absolutely.
worked hard.
Yes.
Steve Harvey, I hear y'all take vacations together on the yacht or something.
And Marjorie have their own boat.
And I thought maybe we could squash some of those rumors tonight. Really? If you don't mind. Yeah, I'd like to maybe go through some myths about you.
Do you think that really helped you because you didn't have success so early? It made you appreciate?
Looks like Samuel L. Jackson joined the club of Steve Harvey's haters. And despite always being respectful when talking about his colleagues, this time, the actor didn't hold back and spilled all his thoughts on Harvey. Apparently, the Samuel L. Jackson tries to avoid Steve's company because he simply doesn't like this self-proclaimed king of comedy. And guys, there's a great reason why Jackson is of so low opinion of Steve. Hi everyone and welcome back to Celeb Live Channel. Well, Samuel L. Jackson has been in the industry long enough, but as he says now, he has never seen such a vile and lying person as Steve Harvey. Although these entertainment giants are thought to be great friends, in fact, the D. Django, Unchained Star harbor a lot of negative feelings towards the Family Feud host.
Fury, what do you love about him? What do you hate about him?
Hate about him? I hate that he's not in everything.
Well, Steve Harvey has become a household name in the industry, and it seems like he can exhibit his talent in every project he participates in. This man is known for his comedy skills, motivational speeches, books about relationships, and he excels in everything, gaining the fame and love of millions of people. However, not everyone seems to find him very charming and even funny, and Samuel L. Jackson is one of the people who openly despises the entertainer and calls him a false king of comedy, saying this man is a walking red flag. For Jackson, Steve Harvey is not the funniest man on the planet, but merely a celebrity who should be laughed at because of his pathetic comedy skills. As the actor now says, he can't help but notice a lot of skeletons in Harvey's closet and how he made his way to the heights of fame.
Doesn't have a superpower, but he has the power of persuasion.
As Samuel L. Jackson stated, he has never met a least funnier man in the industry, and he can't help but compare Steve with another prominent comedian and Samuel's friend, Bernie Mac. Although Mac passed away 15 years ago, Jackson still believes that he's the rightful king of comedy. And Steve Harvey is nothing more but a bleak shadow when compared to Bernie's talents and comedy skills. Well, Steve could convince and fool many people that he has a lot of talent, but as Samuel L. Jackson believes, Harvey is an awful man, both as a professional and on a personal level. The Avengers actor has always been suspicious about Harvey, but after getting a bit closer to the famous TV icon and getting to know him better, Jackson formed his final opinion, and it looks like everything shady we hear about Steve Harvey is actually true. In case you don't know, guys, Samuel L. Jackson has a tradition of spending his vacay with his families and friends in a very fabulous way on the yachts in some sunny and lovely place in Europe. And a couple of years ago when Steve Harvey joined the fun, it looks like he ruined everything.
We get on the boat with Magic and Cookie. Steve and Marjorie have their own boat.
Now, when Samuel L. Jackson sat down with Tiffany Hudson to discuss the whole lavish rich people vacay, he denied spending much time with Steve, and it basically looked like Harvey and his family were not invited to join the fun and were merely meeting fellow celebrities somewhere in Europe. Apparently, now, Jackson prefers to stay away from Steve, and it seems like he's not happy about the whole encounter and being called friends with this person. But if you're wondering what Harvey could have potentially done to earn Jackson's utter despise, well, it has something to do with the late Bernie Mac, who was Samuel's great friend.
But there was essentially a beef between Bernie Mac and Steve Harvey?
Yes.
As Samuel now thinks, Harvey never cared about anything that much as his own career. And while working with Bernie Mac, Steve was so desperate to become the best in comedy that he went all the way from partners to enemies with Bernie. Bernie and Steve were both a part of a comedy tour and the 2000 documentary, The Original Kings of Comedy. That follows the four comedians Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac, and D-Lel, usually as they go on tour from state to state, making audiences laugh. However, it looks like Steve was having some other things in his mind while observing his fellow comedians.
And I said, come on, God, man, I've been trying to make this dream come true. You done left me out here like this.
Although each of them made a lot of money on tour while having fun, there was tension and animosity between Harvey and Mac, and in the end, things fell apart. Many fans are saying without the presence of other comedians, Steve alone wouldn't have a chance for the show to succeed, and people were watching it not because of Harvey's outstanding talents. As one person commented, first of all, Steve was the worst comedian on the tour. All they needed on that tour was CD and Bernie. And another user added, I've never looked at Steve Harvey as a great comedian, journeyman scrub at best in comedy. He can stick to his Family Feud and daytime whatever show. While the tour made history and helped all four comedians' careers rise to newer heights, the relationship between Mac and Harvey seemingly were in the middle, due to persistent rumors that the two men weren't actually on friendly terms, and Harvey trying to steal the spotlight. The rumors of Harvey being jealous of Bernie's comedy talent were circulating for decades, and Steve's vile nature and unprofessional behavior were called one of the reasons why the whole idea of having another tour and making the second movie didn't work out.
Bernie, felt like he didn't want to do it anymore. He was on his own path, and Steve, so...
Later, one of the participants of the project, Cedric the Entertainer, clarified the situation, saying that both comedians were strong leaders and lonely players, and that was the real reason why they couldn't work together. As he said, yeah. I mean, they were the kind of guys that they both alpha males, they just saw it different. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was able to get through it. However, what we learned later is the true reason of why the vibe between Bernie and Steve went so hostile. In 2003, Mick dropped a bombshell in his interview to GQ magazine, accusing Harvey of trying to sabotage his career and even going behind his back, looking for a chance to steal his movie roles.
Especially things that Steve was doing, Bernie would notice. He's like, well, shit, you ain't gonna have nothing left,
Another member of the original Kings of Comedy, D.L. Hewley, also shared his vision on this beef rumors, and he confirmed that Steve Harvey was the reason why the dynamics between the four comedians became worse and worse. See for yourself, guys. Steve tried to steal his colleague's role of Frank Catton on Ocean's 11, and when he was accused of such a low move, Steve Harvey didn't attempt to address any accusations. And after that episode, more and more people from the industry, including D.L. Hewley, came to realize what a man Steve Harvey had always been.
Disappointed, but I understood that, those kind of things happen.
Well, Steve wanted to take the most from Bernie, and even his demise, he showed what a kind-hearted man he actually was, stating that he had made peace with their past issues. He said, "I was upset at first because it just wasn't true. Me and Bernie had a lot of good times together, and then this article in GQ came out and put all this vicious stuff in there. B said he never said I had to take him at his word for it." Well, it's easy to make peace with someone who's no longer here and then crown yourself as the sole king of comedy. Bernie Mac passed away on August 9th, 2008 from sarcoidosis. And Steve used all his acting skills to pretend that he was devastated from this loss.
I didn't really want to do this.
As Samuel L. Jackson is saying, Steve may pretend as much as he wants, but Bernie Mac will forever remain a true king of comedy. And though he is no longer with us, there are still many things that remind us about his legacy. The Bernie Mac Foundation was established in 2007, a year before his demise, to create awareness about sarcoidosis. In 2012, the Bernie Mac Star Center at the University of Illinois Hospital Health Sciences System was established. Apparently, Steve Harvey cannot stand the never-fading amount of love Bernie Mac has even after being unalive for more 15 years. And somehow, seeing how the public cherish the memory of the late comedian, the Family Feud TV host makes sure he's a part of every single thing that's related to Mac, crying as if he ever cared. Many netizens already accused Harvey of being envious and vile man, but using Bernie's title of a king of comedy makes this man the saddest clown alive. And check this out, guys. A lot of fans on social media agree with that. As one person commented, Steve is overrated as a king of great comedy chosen by gatekeepers. And another user added, Steve Harvey is a snake and treated his other two wives' kids like crap. Well, it seems like many people share the same views as Mr. Jackson, and they see the true side of Steve Harvey. And what do you think about this, guys? Do you consider Steve Harvey a true king of comedy? Or has he crowned himself as such without any ground? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.